And we are back. Hello, everybody. We're here with Kommon Knowledge Podcast. Sitting across from Kenny Analyst. We got our man KC, Kwame Cherry right here.
Yeah.
Back for another episode. How y'all been feeling?
Oh man, I've been pretty good. What about you?
It's crazy. Like because of like me being like a nihilistic person, I ended up losing my fear of death. So with me losing my fear of death, like my nightmares be real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like my nightmares ain't like how they used to be when I was a kid. And with that happening, I ended up having one a few weeks ago, like the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So just to go on a side tangent for everybody out here might get a little weird. So hey, I'm flying down the highway in a dream. I'm in my car. Mm-hmm. I look over. I see a truck full of valuables and money, and it's on a flatbed truck, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can get over there real quick. So I put my car in cruise control. I hop out of my car onto the flatbed truck. Right?
Oh man.
So I hop out, car still going good. It's still going besides me. It's going cruise control, so it's still going straight.
Yeah.
Right? I look over, it's still there. Everything's still all good. And then I'm getting the stuff, and then my car ends up hitting a bump and flying off the fucking road, crashing.
Did that dream feel real? You know, no. I asked that because some of them dreams be feeling so real, like the road.
That joint felt real, and I felt like a genius in the dream, not knowing, thinking that the car would still stay straight on the road. So like when I saw that joint,
it's a 007 over here.
When I saw it turn off, it made perfect sense that it would turn off, and I just remember feeling so damn dumb holding money and shit off the flatbed truck, like damn.
And then you try to wake up with the money, right?
Yeah, so like I just remember feeling so damn dumb in a dream, like I really made a bad choice even trying to do that. So I was like, what could this possibly mean? I was like, maybe it's just I don't want to make a bad decision and things like that. But it also made me think of like a bad decision that I've been kind of like avoiding like my whole life, and it's tied in with like addiction and things like that.
Yeah.
Because like when I see people make that choice, I be like, how could they constantly and repeatedly make such a bad damn decision? Yeah, but like but when I was thinking about that choice and how it tied in with addiction, it really made me want to dig into that topic. And I have been listening to Gil Scott-Heron. He started off with, Pieces of a Man, this album right here, and that's Winter in America. But that one, I will get into this one at another time, but that one has a song on there called The Bottle.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And I been growing up, like, Sunday, your mom cleaning the house or whatever, and like I would hear this song playing, but like it's just so much charisma, and it's like it feels good listening to the song, but the lyrics itself is really like terrifying. You understand what I'm saying? So like he's talking about people being trapped in the bottle.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talked about the boy running for his life because his father is trapped in the bottle.
You see that black boy over there running scared, his old man in a bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5, he drink full time, now he's living in a bottle.
But what inspired him to write that song is that he would see people lined up outside of the liquor store, outside just drunk or whatever, and they would be taking empty bottles back into the liquor store, and then it like this is the 70s at the time, but like they would get like a little discount from them bringing their old bottle back to get some discount off their alcohol or whatever. So he was saying that, like, you know, they trapped in a bottle.
Wow, that's interesting. So what, like, so do that mean like the stores was like taking the old bottles and refilling them up?
Yeah, like a way to help them incentivize them to like recycle or whatever.
Yeah.
But
glass
like,
bottles, yeah.
Yeah, but like you being a wino and you just giving old bottles back to get a new bottle of liquor, so you could be stuck in this cycle.
Mm-hmm. You know, when it comes to stuff like that, right? People becoming alcoholics. You also got to think about like what brought them to being an alcoholic. A lot of people become alcoholics to try to forget or to not really deal with the responsibilities or the troubles, the things that's troubling them right now in their current form, right? So like I have a cousin that's a heavy alcoholic. I was shocked when he became one and everything, but the pressure, and I don't really know what got him there, but I'm assuming it was the pressure of his father being down his back. It was the pressure of being kicked out the army. It's like a multitude of things. And then when you feeling like like a failure or, maybe, or just feeling like worthless, and some people, I'll be honest with you, liquor is disgusting. So I don't even understand how people can get past it. Like I really don't. Like I don't even understand.
Right. If you gotta get a fruity drink, you say, "Hey man, I need this drink to be sweet, so I could be like I don't know what I'm doing." It's like, why am I doing this for if I gotta trick myself into doing it? In the first place?
Yeah. Speaking of that, speaking of how it tastes, I remember. As a child, you always feel like, the older people, they keeping something from you.
Yeah.
So they all drinking Hennessy, they always drinking this, and they like, nah, you can't get none. You can't get none. You too young and all of this. And I'm like, they had all the good stuff for themselves. That's what I was thinking. So,
and you finally get a taste.
Like I snuck around. I picked up that cup, full throat. I was so confused. I remember me being perplexed, like chest burning, throat burning.
Yeah.
They drinking this shit for fun?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
How old were you?
I was young. I was super young when I snuck that drink. Yeah.
Man, my grandpa, he gave me a sip of the nastiest beer. I don't like beer to this day. Yeah. I'm against beer. But my grandma and grandpa, they used to drink like the 24 packs of Busch in a can. And they let me get a sip of that. It tasted like some piss or something. I don't know what it. I was like, nah, I don't ever want another beer in my life. And I've been against beer since I was a kid because of that.
Yeah, like
no beer.
It's crazy. Like when I see people going to that for enjoyment or fun, and if it's ruining their life, I'd be like, what's tied into that?
Yeah.
What's tied into this?
And one more, because they got these, they have a lot of things that they say, like, they say, you drink Hennessy when you really, when it comes to pleasuring your female, the Hennessy kind of help with the performance of that, or
and I feel like that's cap.
They call it whiskey.
Yeah, you giving your girl, you giving your girl the whiskey. Absolutely not.
But like, I honestly been scummy drunk probably 2 times in my life, right? And it was like bad, just social experience, right? So me not knowing no better, so being at a club or a party or whatever the case may be, mixing liquor and just drinking and just trying to be a part of the moment. And there's one part of it when it's like a chilling, cool feeling, you're a little woozy, a little loose and everything. But then the hangover is terrible.
Yes.
Like how do you get so? And then I hear that there are just for people. Some people, they don't even experience the hangover because they just stay drunk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they be like
drunk.
functional alcoholics, so they stay in that mode. And to get back to like the addiction part, and why certain people do it, I think some people just doing it to drink to forget or to deal with the pain that's internal. And once you let that go, now you have to find something else to occupy your mind and time. And that can be difficult, especially for the ones that drink and like it, which I don't know how, but if it makes them feel any sort of pleasure or euphoria, then it's going to be a hard thing to let go.
Yeah, that's really what I got something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but like especially like when you see new drug addicts or whatever today, I'm like, with all of this knowledge, you would still make that choice. Like, we know what a crackhead is. We know exactly what it do to people.
Yeah.
For somebody to still try anything, I'd be like, are y'all just slow? And that's why, like, rest in peace to Gil Scott. Like, he had so much knowledge, and he had foresight with all of these different things, but he ended up losing the battle with addiction.
Yeah.
Like, you can make a song about the bottle and talk about how it's affecting people and everything, and then you still end up going down that same path.
Yeah.
And that's confusing with me. And I look at like so many stars: Whitney Houston, DMX, Richard Pryor.
But
so this going off what you were saying with the reason why. Sometimes it could just be the company that you keep, because I was drinking years ago. I don't drink anymore, but I was drinking because my buddies, they like to drink. They like to go to these bars and drink and stuff like that. Then I got into it. Then you make it a weekend thing with your buddies. So in that weekend ritual, you keep on doing it, you're going to find yourself being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But I was a CDL holder once upon a time before Domino's. And I almost lost my CDL behind that, because I had 3 Strong Islands. If you know, you know. Strong Island, them Long Islands, back to back to back.
Oh, yeah.
I got blackout drunk in there. So my life is like a movie. It's like sections. It's like I drank that last sip, then all of a sudden I blacked out. Then I was on the dance floor. The chicks was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Then I blacked out again, and I was in the bathroom. I had throw up on me.
Damn.
So the security guard came in. He grabbed me. He's like, "You got to get out of here." And I was like, "Oh, man." So I'm in my car on Facebook like, "Hey, I need somebody to give me a ride. I'm going to lose my CDL." Lucky for me, it was a woman that I knew who was able to drive me home in my car. But that hangover that you was talking about, like, I was crying over that toilet. Like, I was crying for real.
Dry heaving it,
like,
or dry
why
humping.
did I do this to myself? I'm crying over that toilet. So after that, it's like I lost all attraction to that type of thing, because it's like I can't live like this.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. It's like, even some people would go through worse things than you went through with that and still be like, I'm going back to get drunk. And that shit is confusing.
That because it's probably
confusing.
it's because sorry to cut you off, but it's it became a habit. So it's like, you're used to doing this thing. So now you got to get over that phase of just taking a sip. But I'm glad that you brought up DMX, right? So even when I think about DMX, and when he tell his story, he didn't become an addict because it was just something he did. He became an addict because somebody laced his weed.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
And then he couldn't.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he couldn't. And ever since then, he couldn't break the habit. So, like, I remember, and I don't. And it's because you don't know what that feeling is to people, right? So I think about what Biden Hunter said, right?
Oh yeah, I ended up watching that. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was talking about what I think he was talking about coke.
He's talking about crack.
Oh, I thought he was talking about coke.
He was talking about it all, but he was talking about why crack is so addictive. And he say through the heating it up, it burns off the impurities.
Yeah.
So it's like a pure euphoric substance. He was saying even just talking about it was dragging him back to that.
But he had one statement when he was like, when you were a lady and everything, and that feeling when she like bounce up and down on you. He said it feels like that, and when he said that, I was like, ooh.
I didn't get it before, but I get it now.
And that's enough. And for a curious person, for a curious mind, that's enough to make a person wonder, like, wait, it feels like that? Maybe it's not that bad. Let me get a.
I ain't even get none. I'm a virgin. I want to see what that feels like.
Yeah, and he said it's like an euphoria feeling like that. And then so if that is what people are feeling, then no, it's not gonna be easy to let something go like that. If it's giving,
Kim was about to go look for a deal.
hey man, it had me thinking like what? I can go to rehab after this.
I've seen a crackhead say it's better than sex. He say that hat is better than sex.
Yeah.
So I don't want nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's just too scary. And like me growing up with, drug abuse in my household, I had to learn a lot of things real quick. And it was kind of terrifying as a child.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a movie called Insidious.
Mm-hmm.
So and the boy ends up going into a coma, but while he's in a coma, he's not present in his mind. But then a demon comes and occupies his body by taking up that space in his mind.
Yep.
And I felt like even though that was about paranormal, supernatural things, that's exactly what alcohol and different drugs is able to do. Like, I've seen somebody take some of that shit and then they become a whole different person.
Yeah.
It's like, it's terrifying. Their voice will change, their mannerisms will change. They possessed by something.
Yeah.
And it's sad because the people get used to that you. And they say, and when you're trying to change your life and do better, they say, you're not even being yourself anymore. It's like, no, I'm trying to be better than that, but you stuck on me being an addict.
Yeah.
And the only way that you accept me is if I'm an addict. That's messed up.
And you also got to include, some people become drug addicts off of broken hearts. So I have a uncle that I never met, and he married. I have a cousin, Tashana, and her mother married or had a baby with my uncle on my mother's side that I never met. So, and in this story that my mother once told me, her name is Benita, by the way. And in this story, my uncle and Benita, they was irreceptible. Like, they was always together. And she loved him to death. And pretty much and my uncle, he was, I guess he was a cool guy. He had a motorcycle. He was really healthy and fit. So, to speed up the story, he ends up dying. And when he died, she lost her way and she almost stopped caring, didn't love anybody else, was still dating other people. She ends up dating a drug addict. And then she ends up partially on drugs. I'm not really sure, but I think she ends up on drugs or partially on drugs. And then at the end, she ends up dying from AIDS, from sharing, because she was with a drug addict that was using needles and stuff like that. So I don't know if they were sharing needles, but she ends up dying from AIDS from sharing needles. Blood and
Yeah.
So and my mother had showed me a picture of her before she got on drugs. And I was like, oh my God, she was so beautiful. When I seen her, I only seen her when she was on drugs. I never really seen her in her young, beautiful phase. So when I was able to come around, she wasn't all the way there. So to hear that story, and I was like, man, but I also heard other stories like that when people would just lose hope. They lose somebody they really care about, and then they find themselves doing a drug or fall into addiction, whether it's sex addiction, whether it's, alcohol, just to get over the heartbreak. So that's another thing that also plays a part when it comes to people that know better, but still end up falling victim to those type of vices.
Yeah, like definitely with the heartbreak thing, because I ended up seeing what Hunter Biden was talking about, and he was saying what it was like him being so close with his family. He would say like the only thing that he would really have nightmares about was losing his brother. I think his name is Bo Biden. So he was like, that would make him wake up in cold sweats because like they were so close and they meant so much to each other. So when he was like, his brother ended up getting bone cancer or some type of cancer, stage 4, and he was just trying to power through it. And they all knew that he was dying, but it was for sure that he was dying. So it's like he's dying a slow death. And he was like, when he finally died, he still couldn't accept it. And that's what ended up pushing him.
Towards drug, yeah.
Yeah, crack, going crazy and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a family member. He was deeply in love with his first baby mother, and He was in the drug game and stuff like that. But once she died, the story is he snorted a whole kilo of cocaine. After that. And it just started off his addiction that lasted all the way to now, and it's still suffering with this addiction. So, you know, and me growing up seeing that, it was a clear picture of why I don't want to do anything. The thing about it, when I was a kid, I thought about jobs. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to get some money. So I always thought, like, if I smoke that weed with you, I can't get no job because they gonna piss test me, and so I always thought about the bigger picture. If I do this, it's gonna stop me from getting some money. So it's always money on my mind. I guess I'm addicted to money, guys.
you know, you say that, right? You know, and when I think about what's going on now, like that really makes me upset, right? Because like once upon a time, you know, companies used to test for marijuana, right? And now it don't even matter. So I be thinking like, man, I could have been smoking weed all through my younger years. I really missed out on some experience.
It's probably funny.
Making me mad.
But what's legal is not always what's best for you.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
like I already foresaw weed becoming legal because like you could look at the past to predict the future. So when you look at the past and we see what happened with, because alcohol is a drug, no matter what y'all think about it.
It is.
It's 100% a drug.
Definitely.
And it was banned during prohibition. But then that's because they didn't know how to profit off of it.
Yeah.
Once the government learns how to tax and profit off anything, they'll make it legal no matter what it is. You know, crack coming soon.
It's already legal through opiates.
Yeah.
With the medications
Tylenol.
and all of this stuff.
100%.
It's already legal. But if that man on the corner is trying to make untaxed money,
That's the problem.
That's the problem. They not getting paid off it.
So like, don't even feel like you know, you missed a boat or anything like that because they saying it's legal now. It's still the same terrible shit, like just like alcohol.
You want to know something? I think a lot of people get misconstrued sometimes, and which really mess people up too. I will say that media and the way media, especially music, presents drugs and give people the, because everybody's not going to have the same effect. Like some people can be functional coke heads and still run a Fortune 500 company. Some people can't. So everybody can't be a Snoop Dogg, right? You know, some people, you know, think that they can smoke weed and still be functional and still do everything, and they really can't. Like
They tell lies. Like, have you ever talked to somebody and they be like, "I drive better when I'm drunk. I drive better when I'm high." I'm like, are you lying to me or are you lying to yourself?
I normally stay away from the people.
I'm like, I drive better when I'm. No, you don't. You way worse.
Yeah.
They do that shit. They like, oh man, and then it's like they tie it into things. So they be like, oh man, this food would taste better if I'm high. And they tie it into their life that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Somebody, I had a cousin like, oh, I can't eat unless I smoke. Wait a minute.
So it's like when they
Sound like you got cancer.
and when they tie it into other habits like that, is that's what makes it truly dangerous, because it's like some people are like, oh, I can't go to work unless I smoke. I can't do this unless I smoke. So it's like they do that like with coffee.
Yeah.
Like I can't start my day without coffee. I would never say I can't do anything because of something else. I don't tie things together that way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm in a bad mood because I ain't had my coffee. No, you just an asshole. Just cut this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But when I also think about how men with different addictions could affect the whole family, because that's what, like, luckily, like what was in the house with us, like, you know, my mama's spouse, she didn't end up succumbing to his way of life, but like as the head of a household, a person with an addiction, like I can get an addiction, I can ruin my whole family's life.
Yeah.
Y'all can get addictions and ruin people's lives like that. So it's like the burden that even comes with being a man with an addiction is too high to even take that risk.
Yeah.
Because like when I think about everything that we had to go through and learn and deal with at that time, it just didn't have to happen if it wasn't a crackhead in the house.
Right.
And then it's absurd.
It could have been a lot easier.
Yeah, like man, like have you ever been like seen a drug addict like that in person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lived with him. Yeah.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did you
Like-
understand it like right off the bat at first?
We was made to understand that when you see somebody overdosed multiple times and the police having to come in, paramedics coming with a police officer, and they say, hey, you're going to either go with the paramedics or you're going to jail. Because he is acting crazy, like, no, I'm not going nowhere. The police say, hey, you going to come with us or you going to go with them. He hurried up and snapped out of that half fit, and he went with them, the paramedics. So,
You know, for me, it was mostly maybe my family members messing with someone else around drugs or dealing with drugs. Whether it was, possibly one of my uncles or one of my aunties or whatever the case may be. But the one thing about my family though, and even when you speak about how like, yo, I can't do these drugs because I can destroy my family, it does also want to, and you do have a choice. You can just cut them off and go about your way. But I think what happens, if I'm thinking about your situation a little bit, there's some love in there, right? So
And that's really all it is, and that's really what binds people together is that love. And it's like it's crazy because like I got a cousin, and then his girlfriend ended up started off slow, and then she eventually worked her way up to heroin and crack and things like that, and she was trying to get him on it.
no.
So she trying to get him on it, trying to get him, but like they tied in, soul ties or whatever. But he ends up doing something stupid, going to jail. While he's in jail, they have a baby together. While he's in jail, he ends up getting clean in jail. But her on the outside, she overdosed and dies with my baby cousin in the room with her, calling her name.
So sorry to hear that.
And it's crazy because it's like she would have dragged my cousin down with her if he didn't go to jail. So like jail almost saved his life.
Yeah.
It also saved my stepdad's life.
The universe.
Yeah, so he ended up
set that up.
robbing the bank, and it helped him get clean or whatever. But if it ain't for something getting in the way like that, it's nothing but destruction at the end. Like my cousin would be dead with his baby mama if
yes and maybe no, because in some cases, like the family do normally try, the family would kick in and try to help that person, right? And granted, the prison is the thing that because it's about force. When you're in jail, you can't. I mean, unless you like getting it from somebody butt crack, right? So. So, I mean, unless you want that butt crack, right?
Oh man.
But normally the family would do everything in their power to try to stop that person from going down that rabbit hole. And sometimes I think it's tougher, but sometimes it at least help a little bit. So with your cousin, there's a great chance that your family might have also done grabbed him and get away, or they could have forced him into a rehab, or without prison. Like I have seen and heard stories when people was like, I stopped doing drugs after I seen that I dropped my baby on the floor, and that was enough for me to stop.
Those are super strong-willed people, but like me seeing like how my stepdad was able to keep up his addiction for that long, with my mama just pleading. It would be nothing my mom would have wanted more than this nigga to leave the drugs alone and do right. He gave him chance after chance after chance, and he'll keep taking the chances, keep fucking up. He just could not, no matter how much she cried, no matter how much she pleaded, he could not leave that alone.
But was there situations where he actually tried but just kept relapsing? I think is that the right term?
Yeah, it's relapsing.
Yeah, like was there times that he like tried and then he couldn't kick the urge? Because it's an urge that you have to, like, I'm battling with not drinking soda. So you know,
Yeah, so-
it's a it's an urge that you really have to fight.
So,
So
I mean,
yeah,
I won't say that he didn't try to fight it because he tried to end up trying to hide it more. And
yeah.
like you ever seen like a baby try to hide something? They just ignorant. They don't realize how stupid they look. So so he's trying to hide it, or he's done. So then he just ends up going to the bathroom more and more. You hear the bathroom, you hear the toilet, you know, lifting up and shit. I'm like, he's hiding this shit in the toilet. He's slow. Right? I'm like, come out of the bathroom smoking that shit. I gotta use the bathroom. He had in there trying to be slick. I'm using the bathroom, nigga. Just get out.
Oh man.
But like, so it's like, but if he didn't care at all, he wouldn't even have tried to hide it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's tough, you know.
But he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop. Not for the family. Not for my mom. Not for anything unless he was physically held in place in his life.
It's almost like with Ray Charles a little bit, right? You know, like you know, for him to stop, you know, after he had his baby, it took for something like that for him. But he also had to go to a rehabilitation. So some people end up turning themselves in. So
Yeah,
you
Ray
know,
Charles was on that stuff.
Yeah.
Them kids didn't stop that. He was on that horse.
Yeah. But
I love that movie.
But even, you know, in his case, you know, he just didn't realize that it's not going to be something that you can do yourself, right? And I think a lot of people, they try to stop and do it themselves, and it's like, no, this is a different type of battle, so this is going to take some restraint. So I remember, like, with the Ray Charles, when I think he was in jail, right? Or was he in the rehabilitation? It was one of them two. Sorry for messing up the movie, everybody. But,
No, he went to a rehab at the end.
and remember, he was like, you know, when he was going through the phase when it was all getting out of his system, and he's waking up in the middle of the night, throwing up and going through cold sweats and the withdrawals and everything. So, you know, like, people don't realize that to go through that by yourself is almost impossible. Like, you going against your own body and your own will, like, yo, I don't want to do this no more, and then you just going through, and then the drugs is around you, like, man, F this. Like, I said no twice, I tried.
So, do y'all believe with your cousin and his girlfriend, or baby mama?
Yeah.
You said that she started little and worked her way up. So, do you think somebody just smoking weed all the time would end up going up into harder drugs, or do you think it's possible for a person to stay strictly weed only?
A lot of people was always speculating, was it a gateway drug? Because like a lot of people, they be smoking and then you don't get high no more. And
You get immune to it.
So then you gotta
Stronger
go
The
harder.
OG Kush.
Yeah, and
the white Rhino.
I think now, this weed now is different.
My weed now I got colors like
I got the orange hairs.
I'm like, what's the colors on it? I don't know, but well, okay, it don't grow out the ground like that, nigga. So it's like
This weed is different because my dad's weed back in the day. Shout out to Dad. His weed back in the day, it used to have them seeds in it. I ain't seeing that no more.
Oh, no,
so was he smoking Reginald?
I mean, we should have. I mean, I ain't trying to get into the dope talk, but like, you know, anything that grows out of the ground that don't have seeds ain't right. So that's just
that
wrong.
weed was different. I think that weed that he was smoking is real weed. This weed they got now with up THC levels and all of that, that's damn near crack.
Yeah. But you know, one more thing though, you also got to remember that a lot of this drugs is real medication, right? It's just being abused. So you got to think like coke is come from a leaf, coca leaf, and it's, you know, made to numb pain and stuff like that. You know, heroin, I can't really remember. But
it's an opioid that grows out the ground. It all grows out the ground.
Yeah, so these drugs are for real medical use.
It can be.
Right. It's just that people are abusing and overusing it, and, you know, doing it to party and thinking that it's a game. So like, even like, you know, like, have any of y'all watched Snowfall?
Yeah.
I've been I know all about it without watching it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the whole thing.
But do you remember when Franklin girl first got hooked on drugs? When
Melanie.
Melanie, when she was at a party and she did somebody was like, here, try this, and she tried it and her eyes bugged open and
she had such a bright future.
Yeah.
So
Same thing with Ray Charles too. He just wanted that weed.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like he said, "What's this?" Remember that?
Yeah,
when he
you're
jumped
right.
when he said
Right.
that. So he was like, "What's this?" And then it's like, "Oh yeah, you ain't ready for this." And then he was like, "No, yes I." So peer pressure made him get into that stuff.
Yeah.
So like with all the information that's out right now, and how everybody knows a crackhead, everybody knows a crackhead story. What do you think make people try drugs today with all this information?
I think some people will, after hearing the Hun Bryant story, I'm pretty sure a lot more wanted to try after that, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot to do with curiosity. I think some people are getting laced and not knowing it, and then after that they can't go back. I think it's accidentally, because a lot of people get on drugs just by the hospital, right? So like people they'll get hooked on
Hospital drugs.
Yeah, like the.
I think Kanye West got hooked on laughing gas.
Yeah. Also, some of that comes from just being under anesthesia and ibuprofen and the stronger versions. Even when they talk about lean, that comes from an over-the-counter thing. So it's like
cough medicine.
Yeah. So I think
I've always been curious about when I hear people get addicted to crack by getting laced or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, if somebody laced me with some crack, would I then have the implanted tracker? I need to find crack. Like, how do I know I'm being laced with crack? I'm like to seek it out because I've been laced with something I don't know what it is. I've always been curious with that.
I mean, there's only one way to find out. No, but I think even with all the information about it, you still gotta add the fact of, how they get into these rooms or how they get in these experiences, and whether it's from the hospital, whether it's from being around a close friend, whether it's from just being curious, whether it's from partying, it's still so many ways to fall in that world. You just have to be real disciplined and headstrong to say no to it all, and very few can do that. To go back just to like my cousin and his girl and how they ended up having to get separated. My mom too. You actually had to get separated from the person to survive. What do you think about somebody crossing that line and then you feel guilty about abandoning them, but like that you can't save them? That's tough because of course you're gonna want to you don't want to give up on people, right? So like you don't no, but you got to think about that. Would you want your significant other to give up on you really quick?
I would not, but that's me being on the other side. But the fact that it can't be stopped, because even going to like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, their story is terrible. But Bobby was like, everybody thought I had Whitney doing it, but she had me doing it, and then she ends up going so hard that she's dying, and now you see that he's clean. So it's not until something takes that stronghold away that you can be saved.
And her daughter died from it too. Crazy.
Terrible.
But it's now you got to think like in her world, she was doing it for partying reasons, right? So she just having fun. Also, I think it helped her go on stage. So she was probably suffering from anxiety or whatever the case may be, and then she felt like the drug enhanced her and gave her. Some people feel like the drugs give them the superpower to go on stage and be the best. So she was probably doing it unknowingly from anxiety. So she probably felt like she needed it to perform, and that becomes a thing too. But no one, when it comes to family, it's a thing where no one want to give up on their family. No one want to give up on their favorite cousin. No one want to give up on their husband or somebody that they love. It's it's like people still see and still remember you before the drug. So they still feel like you can go back to that one before the drug. And then they try to empathize and sympathize, or they're like, oh, he lost this, or this is not him. He's battling this, or he's fighting with this.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's definitely
but
him.
it's still, you're right. But it's still a thing of they still have this remembrance of you before. and they still hoping that you can go back or still fight for you.
They looking at the shell, but the soul is gone.
But you could look at analytics from over the years from every person's family that has this going on. It ends up becoming enabling after a while if you don't let them get on about their business and figure this out. Unfortunately, sometimes they have to end up getting up out of here. They're going to end up dying from this addiction. But it's like me holding on to you and trying to save you is not doing anybody any good. It's draining me of my resources and is still negatively affecting you and putting you in a position to die still. So sometimes you got to let people go for them to be able to find themselves.
Yeah, so like so the person that's addicted definitely got to meet the family halfway. Because like Hunter Biden was saying, without the community, his parents, and the girl he ended up meeting, without them, he couldn't have made it. But he also had to want to make it a little bit. Yeah. So to give them the power to put him in rehab, to give them, you got to meet them halfway. And it's like, as somebody that's out there like with addictions, if y'all want to change, you got people that will help you. You have to help them help you. You can't make it hard on them.
And I want to add to the part with when you said the dying, with the dying and stuff, and that's something that people think about. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why people don't let people go, because they feel like if I let you go, you're gonna die. So no one's is going to just willingly let someone they love go, knowing, like how you say, it's taking too much resources, you put me in danger. But sometimes people have this mentality like, yo, I want to save you because I know if I let you go, the streets are going to eat you, or you're going to be found dead in the alley, or you're going to be they don't want to see that and everything. That also play a huge role. You
gotta want change. You can't say, hey, I'm tired of Cuzzo being a crackhead. I'm tired of him doing this crack. If he's not tired of it, he's not going to stop no matter how much you don't want to see them in this condition. If they not ready to get out of this condition and they don't see nothing wrong with it, they're going to continue doing what they doing. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to cut ties, in my opinion. You have to cut ties with them because you are enabling them. Because this help that you're giving them is still keeping their money freed up to get whatever they get, and
they will be dragging you down to your death.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on the relationship. I think it's easy for you to say that if you don't really have a relationship with that certain family member. If they
love them to death.
If they don't mean that much to you.
No, they mean the world, but at the end of the day, you gotta really. You can't put emotion into this. Sometimes you got to look at it straight logical. You can't put your emotions into this because it's going to end up dragging you down very negatively. That's all I can say about that.
So, I mean, that was a real deep dive. I appreciate y'all for walking with me through that.
You're welcome.
Y'all got any final thoughts on it?
For everybody that's out there battling addiction and battling with their vices and battling with their demons, just know that there are people out there that care about you. Just know there's programs you can go to, and you're not alone, and you don't have to be ashamed either. Don't be ashamed. Make your experience be your story to help others. So whatever you're going through in life, just know that it could change and it can be fixed with the helps of others.
Yeah, and if you're not willing to publicly do what you're doing in front of everybody, if you're not publicly willing to expose this secret that you had in front of everybody, you probably shouldn't be doing it, and you probably need to seek some help for sure.
Yeah. So I just finish up by saying, like, especially even more so for men, your addiction just doesn't affect you. Whoever's following you being the head of a house or whatever leader you may be, you're dragging a whole group of people down with you. So, like, with that right there, I want to say rest in peace to Gil Scott Heron.
Rest in peace.
And, I've been No Idols, a.k.a. No ID. We got Kenny Analyst right here. We got Kwame. This has been the Kommon Knowledge Podcast.
We out of here.
Gil, in what form would you like to see the revolt take place? Is it something that in what form could it possibly take place in the 80s?
Well, you see, over here, people believe that you can get whatever you want instantly, you know, from instant coffee to instant grits, you know. So when they heard about revolution and they didn't see one instantly, they figured it was not going to be one. But the first step toward having people change is try to change their minds, to inform them, give them some information about your perspective. Tell them how you see things and why you feel the way you do, as opposed to what they're being bombarded with all the time. This is the first step toward making people susceptible to organizations that can help them do something about how they look at their lives. There are different priorities in different communities. You wouldn't recommend for the people in New Hampshire what you might recommend for the folks in California. But the first thing that you do is you try to get your house together, then next door, then the block. You don't try to go out and change the world tomorrow without taking any of those steps in between.